Hey, that's y'all know that's my part. Hey y'all, hey. What is going on? Hello, y'all. It's Melissa Berrien of Real Talk with Melissa Berrien. That's what we're doing. It's the Real Talk with Melissa Berrien show today. And listen, I already know what y'all came for. Y'all came for the hot topics, the trending news. And of course, you guys have got to hold on and stay tuned for the ridiculous news section. Y'all already know. If you are a subscriber, you already know that I do not disappoint when it comes to that section. So stick around for that. But let me get into the hellos real quick. Let me see who's here before I get into Miss Breaking News or trending topics. And we're going to start right off with Miss Tasha K. So hopefully everyone is here, perched and ready to go. Miss Velma says, good evening, Melissa and everyone. Hey, Velma, good to see you. I'm glad that you are here. You're okay. And this live finds you well. Okay. I had to move Miss Laptop a little bit. Just me, of course. She said, come on now, come with it. Come with it. Okay. Hey, how you doing? Cuz good to see you. Hopefully you're doing good. Listen, the allegedly queen. Come on, Kombucha. Listen, we got some stories today. And you're right. I may as well just go ahead and tick her allegedly. But listen, hello, 3 drum music 4.1.0. Hey, how you doing? Listen, that's a real interesting name. And I tried to get it. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. Another Tasha K moment. We're going to have a little slight Tasha K moment. And then after that, Wally, I promise you, we're going to go into some breaking news because I really want to get into the Supreme Court nomination thing. Oh, it has to be a Black person thing and all the things. Okay. And of course, you do not want to miss out on breaking news. Velma, just me, Ruby King. Hey, Miss Ruby, good to see you. Good to see you. All of you who have decided to join me today. Thank you. I'm jumping right in. All right. So let me set this up. Let's set this up. So y'all can't see my little graphic, but that's fine. It says trending topics. Who's first? Y'all already know. That's Miss Tasha K. All right. Unless you've been living under a rock, not on any type of social media, and if you were on social media, you just was kind of in a place where you were like, no, I'm not watching. You don't know what's going on. Well, my recommendation for you is to go check out my videos last few days talking about Miss Tasha K. Okay. Miss Tasha K has, long story short, go watch the video. I'm going to fast forward. Yesterday, I broke the news, and you got to go watch that Tasha K released a statement. And the statement was everything that I thought it would be from Miss Tasha K. Again, I paid homage to her as someone that I watched at one point. I watched at one point and was like, hey, I could do that because of her. Now, me, I've been under a rock. Who is she and what's going on? Okay, listen, real quick, only for you. Tasha K is a YouTuber and has lost a defamation and other bullet points charges, but they're not called charges. She has been found liable in the Georgia Supreme Court to have defamed Cardi B. You got to go watch the videos, but the long story short is that Cardi B was awarded up to $4 million by this very famous, now infamous rather, blogger, Tasha K. Now, fast forward. Tasha K is bold. She's wild. She's the, quote, exclusive queen, she dubbed herself. But I tell you what, as I reported yesterday, when she came on live, she was docile. And I have the video, and we're going to dissect some things. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Shout out to you, Tasha K, because that's your work, and I respect that. I would hate for somebody to take one of my videos and just play the whole thing and then think that they're going to get whatever clicks, likes, and views. Come on, come up with your own content. So that's what we're going to do. There's some certain points that I have jotted down that I thought that you guys would be interested in. But more importantly, if you know Tasha K, look at her demeanor. Melissa, don't forget the 47 cents on that 4 million. Listen, Velma, I was trying to be nice. Velma cutting up today. Velma said, Melissa, don't hold back. Add up the 47 cents. So it was a huge case, kombucha. And those of you that are checking in, it was a huge case because, number one, those of us that are on the end of freedom of speech, but those of us that are vloggers. But the problem, kombucha, is she has been deemed guilty, for lack of a better word. It has been proven she has been found guilty of defaming Cardi B. She allegedly said on the stand when she was it cross-examination, did you say blah, blah, blah? Yes. Did you know, I'm paraphrasing as someone that was not in the court. Did you know you were lying when you said da, da, da? Yes. And why did you do that? I did that because I knew Cardi B could afford therapy. So that's just the breakdown. That's just the breakdown. You got to go back and watch my previous videos because we're going to jump right into it. You see Tasha K sitting there and she's looking not so Tasha K-ish. So let's see the first bullet point of what I have in store for you guys. All right. So, well, I can't do that. Let's share the screen. And let's get in the first part of our analysis. And it's unofficial. This is just commentary. This is for entertainment purposes only. I am not acting as any type of specialist or anything. So y'all, this is Tasha K. For those of you that don't know, let's listen.
All right.
So here's the thing. For those of you that are not familiar with her, I'm going to be stopping and going, so bear with me. This is not her demeanor. Tasha K is no Melissa Berrien, okay? In the sense that we have two different, I'm crunk, but not on camera like that. Like that's Tasha K. Hey, y'all, what? Like she is loud, like bold, as she likes to say, okay? I am bold, but I'm also a little bit more, even kill. So this, for her to come on like this, I was not expecting that. I thought she was going to come on as Tasha K, just, that's right, I said it. That's Tasha. Okay, let's keep going.
These last 4 years fighting this conspiracy case.
Conspiracy case. Let's stop there for a minute. Yes, Shay. Shay, thank you, Shay. I'm so glad you showed up because I was like, where is my girl as I was starting the video? Yes, Shay. Shay says she's usually loud and theatrical. Okay. But did y'all just hear that? She said it's a conspiracy case. This is not a conspiracy. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this case, unfortunately, there is a long video / paper trail to follow the things that Tasha K has said. Not only that, they played it in court. Not only that, listen, the cross-examination, I can't wait for the transcripts. We're going to have a transcript party, okay? And we're going to read this. So let's continue.
Have been extremely challenging, and yet I wouldn't change a single thing.
Told y'all. She said, I wouldn't change a single thing. Well, here's the thing for me. If I were her, I told y'all already from the beginning when Cardi B reached out to her, if Cardi B would have reached out to me, it wouldn't even have to be a Cardi B. If someone is telling me, Melissa, your words are hurting me. Melissa, those words, that's not true. I'd even try to be like, okay, so what isn't true? What am I saying that's not right? But then when it gets to the point where I feel like I'm really bothering someone, I'm going to leave you alone. So for her to go through, has it been 4 years? A 3-year battle process, rather, of court proceedings, only to be found liable for $4 million and you wouldn't change a thing? Leave a comment down below. Listen, where are you at in this? Are you with her? Let's see. Let me see the next one. 121. Oh, let me move that. Vilma says, no, it's not a conspiracy. Tasha K, she's deflecting. Conspiracy is not defamation, LOL. Oh God, yes, bring on the transcripts. Listen. Still defiant, delusional. She has cognitive dissonance. As someone who majored in psychology on a graduate level, that's point blank, period. I'm going to say whatever it is I need to say. Number one, to make myself look better, to make the situation look better, and to disassociate myself with reality. Point blank, in a nutshell, that's what cognitive dissonance is. Hello, ladies. Hey, Jenny, we're just getting started. All right, so let's see what else she says after that. I went on to, let's see, 121. Here we go.
We called bluff against a machine that wanted to bully me for not waiting.
With Fusion.
Bully her? Let's let this ad play. Bully her? Did y'all hear that? We call bluff against a machine. All right.
From my personal beliefs.
Oh.
A machine that has corporate interests to protect prostitution, drug use, promiscuity, and to glorify the violence that wreaks havoc on our society.
Y'all, did you hear that spin? Okay, here's a little blurb. I wasn't there from the beginning, so I didn't hear this because I wanted a raw reaction. I would thought I was just going to stop at the machine, but what she's saying is she's being attacked. What she's saying and not saying, what I'm getting from what she's saying, let me say it that way. She's being bullied by a machine that promotes the very things that she was accusing Cardi B of. And Cardi B is being protected. That's what I got out of it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you got something else from that. Shay says Cardi gave her multiple outs before taking her to the courts. She was mad because Cardi refused the interview. Exactly. And that's the same thing with Bobby Lights, allegedly, and other people. You do not turn Tasha K down, allegedly. Don't forget being a narcissist. Girl, bye. Who's the machine for? Exactly. It's funny that Cardi is saying that she was bullied by Tasha K, but Tasha K is saying, hey, the machine. Who's the machine, though? Let's back up a little bit. Tasha K makes a video about Cardi B. Cardi B says, please take it down. Nowhere in there was any type of machine. Pepsi didn't, from what I understand, didn't go after Tasha K and say, in other words, when you want to say a machine, I'd say like a corporation, like leave our girl alone. None of that happened. So what is this machine? Unfortunately, this is the final statement, first and final statement, according to Tasha K, that she's going to make about this case. I beg to differ. I think that there will be more. All right. She's trying to be Angela Davis of YouTube bloggers. Girl, bye. We're going to get more into that. That is exactly. She is trying to be the Harriet Tubman. All lives matter. Black lives matter. I'm here and I did this for us to protect our freedom of speech. That's not what's happening here, ma'am. That's not what's happening. Exactly. Velma agrees with you. Let's keep watching. So the next timestamp was 4, but I'm going to stop a little bit because it looked like she was saying a lot. Wait.
Children and teaching our children to be degenerates.
Yes. So again, she's talking about the Black lives and we're teaching our children to be degenerate. She's changing this and molding this, transforming this in her head as some civil rights thing. Low key, y'all. As some of the kids would suggest, high key. But low key, this is her Harriet Tubman moment. This is her Sojourner Truth moment. Okay. What was it? 413. Let's start here.
push this lifestyle on us for profit.
For profit.
This ain't about $4 million.
That's where I wanted to start. She said, listen, this ain't about, but this isn't about $4 million. So calm your horses. I don't know why y'all getting excited, because this wasn't about $4 million. Well, let's listen and see what she says this is about.
This machine never wanted my money. They wanted to shut down my company in order to protect their assets that glorify this reckless and dangerous lifestyle.
Okay, so are we to assume this machine is Cardi B? We spoke about this a little bit yesterday. Has she been told, listen, don't mention her name? So is the machine Cardi B? Leave a comment down below.
Pushed on us and our children. It was about someone demanding that I respect and give respect to something that has never earned my respect.
Oh,
this is
what's the machine, y'all? Let's fast forward.
I know y'all maybe think this is over, but no, this is just the beginning.
Do you know what I see here?
Let's let the ad play. I'm not even gonna break it down. So here's the part where she says,
I will spend as many years as I can to protect our right to voice our opinions and facts on these images that are sold and pushed on us. The appeal process has already started, and we intend to expose every conspiracy against me, my company, and my family.
She is not backing down. She is not backing down. She was almost revving up into the Tasha K that I know. No, in quotations, because you guys know I don't know her, but I want to say that. She was just about, because she readjusted herself, repositioned, and she was almost going there. Let's keep going.
Supposed to be destroyed a long time ago, but it did not happen. I am still here. We are still here. This machine tried to squeeze us for everything.
This machine. This is so weird. And then the last one, I'm going to go here because we're going to talk about this.
Every step of the way. And I want to thank the winos. And before I go,
This part.
I saw that there were a few fundraisers that were started under my name. We did not create those, nor do we need those, and nor will we ever create a fundraiser for anything. And with that being said, I want you guys to report them if you see them. We have reported a few, but obviously dozens are popping up to scam under our company.
All right, that's it. So there you have it. That's generally what I wanted to bring out in the statement. Again, as someone that has watched Tasha K, I thought that she was going to come out swinging, loud and ready to go. But here's the truth of the matter. Although her demeanor was a little bit calmer, although her voice was a lot calmer than what she normally is, she was still screaming. The message was loud and clear. And the only thing that's confusing a lot of people is this machine. What machine? She's not talking about media. I don't think she's blaming media, but she could be, because she talked about, the programming of people and all of that. We have to kind of see what this appeal is going to look like and what is she going to appeal on, and if it will be accepted. This is all to come. Okay, I guess you'll be making fish and chicken dinners. So here's what she said about that. She's like, listen, these GoFundMes and all that, I don't know who it is, but it's not me. Take them down. Report them. Selling those fish and chicken baskets. Yep. All she needed to say was, we will overcome. Listen, that's all that, Jenny, that was all that was left. And have everybody hold hands and say, we shall overcome. Like literally, that was all that was missing. Leave a comment down below if you let me know if she was, listen, Proud Sally Proud. Let me know if she spoke to you and you ready to ride out for her. Me personally, I would have liked to see her just say, thank you for your support. I'm not out for the count, and I'll be back on Friday. Because it's being alleged that as a result of this statement, as a result of everything, Scentbird, who sponsored Tasha K, she had videos and everything, allegedly has dropped her from their partnership. Long story short, she is no longer a partner, allegedly. I couldn't find the tweet that represented that. I went to Songbird's page and I didn't see it. But there are a lot of bloggers that are reporting that. Again, I did not find that. I'm only reporting what they are reporting and not even reporting on it. I'm just mentioning that there are people out there that are saying that she lost partnership. Would I be surprised? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, when you don't show remorse, that is problematic. And I think that's Tasha K's problem. Even, and that's just my opinion, even if she wanted to go after the machine, whoever the hell the machine is, and all of that, yeah. Oh, yes, I heard they will drop her. That's Scentbird. Yes. Tasha K did say something in the beginning about her and her team expecting this outcome. Makes me believe that she's been trying to make her exit from YouTube with her app studio and Patreon account. And the other part about that is Tasha is not going to admit defeat. I told y'all that from the beginning. So even if she thought that she was going to be victorious and she thought and then she lost, she was not going to come on YouTube and say, man, I thought I had it in a bag and I lost. That's not Tasha K that I watch. I don't know. That's why they need to pull the plug on her. Well, we're going to talk about that here in a second because that's also part of the conversation. Lord, we're 23 minutes in and I have a full load. So hang on. Again, ridiculous news section is one that's going to be very interesting today. But pulling the plug. Tasha K has worked. Oh, that's the other thing. She's no longer with 1 million subscribers. I did not expect that. I thought by today, when she woke up, she'd have at least 2 million subscribers. Well, when I last looked, she was under 1 million subscribers. She just celebrated this victory. Here's the thing. I don't put too much weight into that because number one, people come and go for whatever reason. And then they miss you and see what you're about and then they come back. So I don't put too much weight in that. But on the opposite end, I was interested in it because I really thought Tasha K will end up with at least 1.5 million subscribers as a result of this. Leave a comment down below in your circles, people that you're watching, people that you are watching their commentator in your everyday, if people at work are watching it. It doesn't really, what's their feel? Are people really backing Tasha K and the machine? I wish she would have let us know who this machine is. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. If we want to see you play up to the chatter because you won't stop talking recklessly about people, it's about the 4 million now. You're absolutely right. It is definitely about the 4 million. And the thing is, it doesn't matter. Public opinion is not the court. YouTube is not the court. The time to show that demeanor, the time to be a little bit docile was when she was on the witness stand, giving her testimony, whatever that's called. She didn't read this before going live. She did not. That's what I said. I said, who wrote this? I told you guys that yesterday. People were in the comment section going off and just clowning her. I'm sorry. I can't follow anything she's saying. It sounds like a bunch of words, a bunch of foolishness and mayhem. You're absolutely right. They wanted you to stop being reckless with your words. That's what the machine wanted. Whoever the heck the machine was. She tried to put the little girls in Chicago and LA in it. Wow. Changing the narrative, girls, stop. I think she will keep talking until YouTube pulls the plug. Exactly. And the comment of the day, she trying to be Angela Davis of YouTube bloggers, girl, bye. And one of the things she tweeted out, she was like, listen, I forgot to say, there is no defamation. There was no defamation. She's still tweeting and IG and all this stuff. And those of us that just wanted to see an ounce of remorse, we're like, Tasha, please just get off social media for now. Just say sorry. Because watch, I don't know. Like I said, she said that she took the videos down out of good faith, but I'm like, in good faith, you took them down? Okay. Everyone I know is calling her a clown. That statement was a fool. All of my friends, we all stopped watching her 3 years ago. People are laughing at her. Yes. I just thought that she will get the population of people that don't really know what she's about. That whole, oh, TMZ mentioned this Tasha K person. Let me go see. Let me subscribe. But here's the thing. Machine, Cardi, whatever we want to call her, a lot of people like her. And she has way more followers and subscribers. And the truth of the matter is, even the most messiest person typically don't like bullying. No one likes a bully. And unfortunately, that's what Tasha is being portrayed as. And so that's probably what the machine she's talking about. For someone who said they weren't going to speak on anything anymore, she kept coming back online with PS tweets. Exactly. That's my whole point. Even if she would have said this statement and just moonwalked out the room. Nope. She came back. And another thing. It's just not a good look. So let me get my notes because there was a lot in that section that I wanted to talk on. So yes, in a nutshell, that is Tasha K. For those of you that don't know, her YouTube channel was at 1 million and now she has under 1 million subscribers. Back to that conversation, YouTube. Here's what I feel about it. YouTube is in a tough spot because when I report on the news, you can imagine what's been going on over the past couple of years. The trials that was Kenosha. Like, listen, anytime I mention, sometimes I have to click and tell a person to review the video to let them know, like, hey, I don't condone violence. I just talked about the blah, 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 or the la, la, la. So I don't understand how someone, other than the fact that she's making them money talking about the machine, when I can't even talk about certain cases without you limiting my ads, without you, and Tasha gets the ads, and it's not through Pangea and all of that. So YouTube is in a spot where a lot of us who have gotten copyright claims, some people have gotten channels down for nudity and this and that. And this woman has said and done some crazy stuff allegedly. And so those of us that are content creators, we're like, hold up, you're going to let her keep her channel? So my whole point, if you let her keep her channel, leave me alone and let me be able to comment and give my opinion about whatever it is that I want to comment on. It was as if sometimes if I just mention a name, Kyle, I didn't have to mention his last name. Limited ads. And I'm like, no, you guys need to come review this. I didn't say anything. I'm reporting the news. I'm reporting what's going on. Exactly. Let's see what Shay says. YouTube should be held accountable as well. That's still yet to be determined. But I do know content creators like myself that, pride themselves on integrity and just reporting. And even when we're commenting, not coming from a place of maliciousness or from a bad place, bottom line. Those of us that are, we're just like, so you gonna sit up here and let her keep her channel? So now YouTube has a lot of people looking at them. So there's a lot that's going to be said at the end of the day of what YouTube, and a lot of people are waiting in my Judge Judy tab. We're waiting because you're going to have to answer. There will be, and one thing about it, I'm going to say this from a legal term, from a legal perspective, when I listen to the lead attorney. Shout out to you, the lead attorney. One thing he brought, and one thing he said, and this isn't even legal. Like, if you are a content creator, we know the terms and conditions. And the the Supreme Court of Georgia has determined that Tasha K violated their terms and conditions. Point blank, period. So what are you going to do? We have to see. I heard they're trying to start a possible petition, allegedly because they want her off of here. Wow. Wow. We'll see. All right, let me read this super chat. Pride goes before the fall every time. Every time. What's his name? Also thought he was great too. Exactly. And again, you notice I didn't say the name of the person that he typed because I don't have time for it. I already know because I said certain things, and I'm about to talk about COVID here in a second. They're already going to be like limited ads. How do I get limited ads for breaking news and or trending topics that have nothing to do with bullying or anything like that, but content like that can stay up? And not only stay up, but stay up with 1 million followers. I'm just saying. I'm doing a video on this now. Okay. So he's doing a video now about the press to be thought. I support you, sis. Thank you so much. I look forward to that video. I can't wait. I didn't want to read the whole thing because, like I said, I'm not sure what they're going to sit up there and say. Oh, limited ads. Limited ads. YouTube should be held accountable. Yeah. And excessive vulgar language, all of those, the bullying, the hate speech, and excessive language, all of that. So YouTube, we're watching. We are watching. Because even some of the things that she alleged is quite disturbing. But yet I can't cover what actually was in the news without you saying, oh, limited ads. So speaking of ads, I know that they can be very, very annoying for you guys, but here's the thing. Let them play because the little ads that I may or may not get, depending on my news story, they help a girl out. Okay. I really appreciate that. So yeah. So if y'all thought, okay, well, she's the weirdo or not the weirdo, let me say the trending crazy person, outrageous person, so to speak, of the day. It's not over. It's not over, y'all. Trump during his presidency lost his channel. Why is she allowed to keep a channel? Very good point. Let me put her back up real quick. Exactly. He lost his social media as he should have because out of control. And speaking of being out of control, Trump and a Trump supporter, our next story. This is Joe Rogan. He's another one that's trending for speech and language and content, rather. So if you don't know, Joe is on my left. His guest is Jordan Peterson. He's on the right. And then in the middle is a very black man whose blackness, for lack of a better term, was questioned, devalued, and minimized by these two people. So Joe's on the left. What's his name? Jordan is on the right. All right. So Melissa, what are you talking about? Well, the guest, what did I say his name? Jordan was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Okay. I don't watch his podcast. Saying some absolutely, yes, and that's Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. You know, if you ever heard him speak, you are going to take notes on at least 3 words that he said so that you can run to the dictionary and learn a word or two. Very well-spoken man, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. And so, again, some really crazy things was said about him on the podcast. So let's see. Joe Rogan's comments on Blackness challenged by a Vanderbilt professor. That's one reaction. I think that's a deliberate, willful ignorance, and it's the unintentional hilarity of a certain kind of whiteness that refuses to own up to what it is. All right, let's see. All right, and let me pause because I want to make sure you guys get that. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Sorry, because I want you guys to get the whole thing. All right. Let's see what was said. Ignorance. Ignorance. Here we go.
They damn sure proved their white. While they unsuccessfully challenged my blackness, they damn sure proved their whiteness. Indifferent to history, oblivious to truth, and indifferent to reality.
Michael Eric Dyson, professor of African American and Diaspora Studies at Vanderbilt University, appeared on Don Lemon Tonight Wednesday, where he addressed comments made by Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson on Rogan's podcast on Tuesday, while the two were discussing Dyson's skin color.
Unless you're talking to someone who is like 100% African from the darkest place where they're not wearing any clothes all day and they've developed all that melanin to protect themselves from the sun. You know, even the term black is weird.
Dyson believes that Rogan, whose platform on Spotify was recently unsuccessfully challenged by rocker Neil Young, is too smart to believe what he said.
Brother Rogan is smarter than that. People who are in Africa who don't wear clothes, who have deeper melanin, was he speaking about thousands of years ago? Is he talking about today when he refers to what it means to be African, when he refers to what it means to be black? Are you that obtuse?
Dyson said he met Rogan once after the comedian opened for Dave Chappelle, which is why he found the comments so astonishing.
You're opening up for a guy who has redefined for many people blackness in the last 15 years, and yet you're claiming not to know what blackness is. Yeah, I think that's a deliberate, willful ignorance, and it's the unintentional hilarity of a certain kind of whiteness that refuses to own up to what it is.
And Dyson explained to Rogan what blackness means besides just the color of someone's skin.
We're speaking about an existential context. We're talking about a philosophical idea. We're speaking about rooted cultures in deep histories that have vast traditions that have generated complicated identities.
Whew. What say you? Leave a comment down below, even if you're watching the replay. Hey, replay gang, good to see you. Please leave a comment down below. What is your initial thoughts? Well, you guys know I listen to a lot of talk radio. And so I was driving, and one of the hosts that I listen to every day, the Urban View, one of them, and Karen Hunter was commenting, and I was like, well, what did Joe, like, it couldn't be that bad, because a lot of times, you know, I ain't gonna lie, y'all know we're dramatic. Like, we could overreact to something, and I say we collectively. Black people can overreact to stuff, and then there's sometimes we underreact. So I said, well, let me go look up what was said. And when I saw that, I was like, sir, you've got to be kidding me. And the host, her guest, and even Mr. Dyson, I want to say doctor, even he said, I can't believe he's that obtuse. He can't be that ignorant. Leave a comment down below if you're going to give him a little bit of grace to say he can't be that obtuse. He's just being a shock jock at the moment. Willful ignorance. I think he was serious when he said even term blackness is weird. Even the term black is weird. I think he meant every bit of it. I think he's just as confused and ignorant as his speech. That's what I think. I think that who we are as a collective people is very confusing, and it's not our fault. My family is digging into our DNA, our ancestry, that type of thing, doing an extensive search on the maternal side. And the things that, from my own personal research, is like, huh? But the things that they have come back with is like, huh? Can you imagine a group of people, and I'll say those of us with more than 10% black. No, forget that. Any percentage of blackness. Can you imagine of people that are spread across the entire world with the origin of a specific place, but was dispersed as a result of a system? Not here to argue who was sold and why they were sold or whatever. The bottom line is that it happened. And then we get to the United States of America, and they continue to be within that system. But not only that, while they're being taken advantage of and picked and chose based on skin tones, the spread of her hips, the broad shoulders, and whatever else the man has. That was our identity. But then to look at that same group of people and be like, wow, we can be as dark, as black as those models that I featured in that video, that Vogue cover. Go check it out. And if you are ignorant and don't understand what has happened to the Black people in America, what our origins look like, because you don't want to talk about that because it makes you feel uncomfortable, you end up with statements like this. He is seriously confused, y'all. I believe he's seriously confused. And the reason why I think he's seriously confused is because we do range from one hue to the absolute other. There are Black people that are paler than Joe Rogan. But for him to be like, oh, Blackness is weird, even the term Blackness. And then he had the nerve, let me move this while I get off my soapbox. Then he had the nerve to suggest, well, here's the thing, make me comfortable. That's basically what he's saying. If you're going to call yourself Black, at least be black from Africa Black, where you got the deep melanin to protect your skin. You so ignorant. You are so ignorant. Well, you saw Dr. Dyson's reaction. I didn't expect anything less but class. Now, what he did once them cameras went off, that's a whole nother story. Let's see. Yeah, let me pause that. I hear puppy feet. I hear puppy feet outside my door. So y'all please leave a comment and let me know. I played the entire video. And so is this willful ignorance, or was he trying to be funny? I know that there's a section of people that don't believe that African Americans have any type of identity or any type of, identity or connection to Africa. So that makes his statement even more ignorant. Many times it's not what's said, it's who or how many are reached. Joe Rogan has the #1 podcast on Spotify. The reach in his case is the real damage. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because if he was a little channel like me, that means his reach would not be as what it is being the #1 podcast on Spotify. Let me scooch up a little bit. You're absolutely right, Talk. Definitely confused, but he meant everything that he said, like Shay says. Shay says he meant everything he said. He just thought his status and who he was would allow him to get away with it. And there are many people that are like, this is crazy that in 2022, we're still explaining this. So we have to be a direct first-generation descendant of Africa for you to understand that we are African Americans, for you to understand the term Black. And then low-key, was that sort of an insult? So only the people that are actually deep-skinned, toned, can call themselves Black, i.e. the models on the Vogue cover? Go check out that video. I have followed him big time, and I have his book on Tupac. Nice. Yes, that's true. Have your dictionary and thesaurus out. Dr. Dyson is very well spoken, and a man of class. So I didn't expect anything different from him. But I when I found out that first of all, Joe Rogan has been trending for a while, for a couple of weeks, because again, his outspoken, alleged point of view on COVID and stuff. So whatever, think what you want, whatever, say whatever. As a matter of fact, there was an expert, a scientist that was on his channel, and he was telling him, no, that's not how XYZ works. It wasn't necessarily about COVID or anything like that. He told the scientist, no, you're wrong. He was like, that's not how that works. Joe said, no, so this is who we're dealing with. He meant everything that he said, and it perpetuates a stereotype and a myth that you have to be deep-skinned like no other and a first-generation descendant from Africa in order for you to consider yourself African. How ignorant. Maybe I should have included him in the ridiculous news section. Please hold on, because we have that section coming up. Now we're going to transition and I was going to say transpire. We're going to transition into the breaking news section. So y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see Robinette. Y'all know that's what I call President Joe Biden, Robinette. Well, he is trending because a couple of days ago, for two reasons, but we'll get to the first. He was trending because he was overheard on a hot mic to calling a reporter as a result of the reporter's question. And he was like, what a stupid son of a bee, over an inflation question. Now, of course, those that hate Biden, they're going crazy. Oh my gosh, it just proves he's just this and that. And oh, how terrible. Then you have people that support him and they're like, wait a minute. Two things. Are you really trying to have an attitude because he said the things that he said on a hot mic? Did you meet 45? So that's one part of it. Then after, and the news reporter is Peter Doocy, Fox News reporter. He asked the president whether he thought inflation would be a political liability ahead of November's midterm elections. And so everyone's up in arms because the midterm elections are coming up. And a lot of these talking points are meant to see what people are thinking and where their heads are at, to see where their vote is going to come from. Biden's reaction was caught on a hot mic. That's a great asset. More inflation, Biden said. What a stupid son of a bee. Moments before, Biden, let's see. So that was the same report where, let's see. Let me fast forward. So Doocy told Fox News host Sean Hannity that the president called him within an hour to exchange an apology for his remark. Now, here's the thing. That's the other part why he's trending, because a lot of people love the fact that he had enough decency to apologize. Some Trump supporters are like, you know what? Who cares if he apologized? Our guy didn't, and he meant it. Y'all remember Acosta? He went in on those reporters so badly. I used to watch for Trump's newscast, and I'm like, what? So funny, but not so funny. Treated them so terribly. But here's what we never heard. And to you, that may not be important, but one thing that we never heard was, I called him after and said, I'm sorry. I called April Ryan and said, I might have been a little bit too harsh, but your question was stupid. Even that would have been never. Peter says, he called my cell phone and he said, it's nothing personal, pal. He cleared the air and I appreciate it. We had a nice call. So even two people from two different wheelhouses were able to come together with a phone call. That's all I asked from the previous administration. When you're caught cutting up, acting a fool, hold on, because Lord, my battery is like, ooh, your power's good. Hold on. All right. So yeah, my battery was like, bing, bing, you got 8 minutes on your laptop. So anyway, that's just the decency. These people don't agree on politics. Doocy and Biden are from two different wheelhouses, two different everything. But common human decency should not be about a freaking partisan issue. For some reason, the Fresh Prince came to mind when Carlton's Blackness was brought up. That's so funny. Exactly. You remember that? So that's one of the reasons. It's called accountability. Exactly, Shay. So I was here for it. You know, if you think that Joe Biden doesn't have a potty mouth, a filthy mouth, you got another thing coming. All those politicians do. But one thing we as Americans want, we just kind of want to believe that they don't, most people. But if you're found on a hot mic to say something crazy, just come back and, like Shay said, just hold yourself accountable to the words that you're speaking. So that was one of the reasons why he was trending. Well, he was also trending big time breaking news. Big time breaking news. Now, Biden was trending because Supreme Court Justice Mayer. Let me make sure. His last name is Mayer. He announced that he is retiring. Okay. So everybody began immediately to hold Joe Biden accountable to his words and his campaign promises. Now, for those of you that are waiting for your student loan debt to be canceled, Joe said, now this one I can do. But that money talk that y'all keep trying to hold me accountable to? So what did he promise? He promised that he would put and nominate a Black woman if the opportunity presented itself. So, hey, OG Patrice, you guys came at a good time. Lord, Trash Can Ways, we just got finished talking about your president, both of them. Oh, yes, the Supreme Court nominees. So Velma's getting comfortable. She's like, yes, yes, y'all. So this is breaking news. Joe is pushing everybody's nerves, okay? So I'm gonna back up a little bit. Kamala Hills up Harris. Okay. So here's my issue. In a nutshell, I want a qualified person. I don't care. Well, let me rephrase that. I do care if they're Black, but I don't care. I want someone that's qualified. I want someone that has integrity. I want someone, yeah, minority would be great. And then some would like to suggest, oh, Black people aren't minority. Okay, fine. A person of color would be great. Of course, that would be great. But I want more than that. I don't want, and here's, I'm going to say my commentary and then you guys tell me what you think. The problem with this idea, let's rewind back to a campaign promise. We spoke about this before. These people will say anything. And when I say these people, all of them will say anything to get your vote. And I think it's kind of a shame. I'm going to find an adjective, but it's crazy is the only one I could think of right now. That the bone that you would, of all the bones that you would throw to get the African-American vote, because that's why they say stuff, is I'll nominate a Black woman. That's honorable. All that's great. Like, yay, kumbaya moment. It'll be great, whatever. But I think about the African-American vote and how diverse it is and how diverse we are as a people. And it's really, really telling about what these politicians think about us as a whole. And I just think it demeans my vote. A Black woman on a Supreme Court would be phenomenal if she's qualified. But I also think about the different reforms and different things that could be very influential and significant for the entire African American population. But you thought of all things, hey, listen, I'll put a sister up there. And the reason why is, I'm gonna tell you why. We as African Americans, generally speaking, I'm just saying we as a general thing. You may be different, I may be different. We are so used to being underrepresented in this country that we get super excited for an opportunity for one of us to be represented. And that's sad because we should be represented in the court. We should be represented in all areas of our lives. But the unfortunate part, I'm going to tell you what, quote, the people are thinking. Let me just say it this way, y'all. It's the black card. Why are they always playing the black card? And the only reason why I'm giving that statement at that point is to paint the picture for you. Because all people of other races and some people that are black, and I'm just telling you from what I'm seeing, the reaction is most people are saying, I don't want him to just pick a woman because she's black and because he promised. So if people see us as our main agenda to just belong, I missed the 2K too. I finally got it. Yay! I'll get to that super chat in a minute because I want to get my thought out. I think that we will, and you guys, please let me know if you're rocking with what I'm saying. If you disagree, please put it in there. Please, please, please. But yes, Trash Can Waves, identity politics. Because I feel like we're easily appeased. And when I say we, I just mean in general. We're easily appeased if we just put a spot of black in the place. And we're so much more than that as a people, and we should require more than that as a people. All right, now the celebration. Congratulations. Hey, Melissa and Chad. I didn't know Uncle Stu came in and he was like, put some respect on her name. Hey, 2K, congrats. I missed that. I missed it too. When I went live, I was not at 2K. Thank you so much, TJ. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, everyone, for your love and support and all the great things. That's why I am here bringing you guys a show. Okay, so let's keep going. Thank you so much, y'all. We did it. So Trash Can Wait says, did I miss the 2K celebration? I'm going to put my birthday suit on and show my, don't do that. Don't show us that. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Thank you, everyone. Listen, I'll leave my YouTube story for the YouTube celebration night, but we made it. 7 years ago, back when I started YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna save all that for the day, but thank you so much, y'all. I started this journey. I probably had 2 subscribers on the first day that I did because it was my mom and my husband. And y'all, I would go live. Thank you, Velma. Listen, I would go live. First of all, I would upload a video and it'd get 2 views. My mother and my husband and me from another room. And I would go live. Oh, and my cousin. She on here. My husband's cousin, but she's my cousin. Girl, you family. But then I would go live. It'd be 3 people. My mother, my husband's cousin, and my husband would be at work, so he didn't have time to be sitting on my lives. growth. Thank you guys so much. It's so awesome to build a community with you guys. On a serious note, it's amazing. It's really, really amazing that what hard work and perseverance and just keep chugging along, even when you don't see it. So that's the lesson of the day. Keep going. And guess what? You'll be in the middle of doing what you love to do and not even know that you hit the mark. Now, on to the next 5,000. But we'll be talking about that later. But we definitely will have, I gotta call hubby. Get your piece of change together, sir. We're doing a giveaway. All right. Congratulations. Thank you, y'all. Okay. That mindset needs to change of just accepting just anything. All right. We back on subject. Back to class, y'all. We're going to celebrate. I'll let you guys know when, but we're going to have a whole celebrate. Y'all know me. I'm going to have a video and everything. But anyway, listen. That mindset needs to change of just accepting anything. Exactly. We have to require more than just, oh, well, pick a female, pick a black man, pick a this, pick a that. Come on. We got to require more. Shay says Black Americans have come to accept the crumbs that were handed because we weren't allowed at the table. That's what I'm talking about. While everyone is at the table negotiating, demanding, and if Patrice is in here, she'd probably be like, Melissa, I've been telling y'all that. No, I'm listening. I'm listening, Patrice. People are at the table negotiating and demanding. That's why you have Native American reservations. That's reparations. That's why you have protections for certain individuals. And the question that African Americans are asking is, where are our protections? Where is it? Now, again, I'll be the first to say, I'm going to live and climb with or without it. I'm going to make it with or without it. But it does something to your identity and as a whole, as a people, to be recognized, officially recognized for the wrong that was done to your people. TJ said exactly. Shay said, come on, testimony girl. I got a testimony. I remember when my first person, my first non-family member was on the live, and we sat and talked, and he was like, you're so cool, whatever. He's probably, shout out to you. You probably still up in there. And I went downstairs and I was like, babe, I had somebody and we talked and he came, it was a good time. And I always knew, and I will continue to know, that I will continue to grow and make this thing special, okay? Because I have something to offer, for sure. Child, we catch hell every day, cannot get our accolades and recognition as long as the other side have anything to do with the judge. Point blank, period. I think that it's admirable that that's what he wants to, okay, yeah, I'm not going to demean the moment, okay? But I would rather her be qualified. I would rather her, listen, you might get somebody that's like a Jane Elliott. I would rather have a Jane Elliott white person on the Supreme Court than somebody who is black and Clarence Thomas or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, for an example, these are the arguments that people are making, and I kind of agree with it, depending on what your politics are. But as a result of that, to assume that we all have the same politics is also ignorant, because we don't. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Trash Can Waves, $19.99 super chat. I ain't Uncle Stu. All I can afford to put something on it, but this 2K, and you know what? Trash Can Waves, you help put some respect on this channel, okay? I appreciate your support. You always come in, and one of my great mods, and just really adds the humor and everything. Like, listen, thank you, Trash Can Waves. I really, really appreciate it. I don't think I've ever seen you give anybody a super chat. Thank you. Shay says, right, because all skin folk ain't kin folk. Exactly. And we all don't want the same thing. There are people that are looking at this Supreme Court, and these four, I forgot to mention that these four are said to be his contenders. I don't know these women. That the third one looks a little familiar. I might have just been seeing her a lot just since this news story. But listen, there's some people that's not impressed by this, just like they weren't impressed with Barack. Okay, good. But this is what I want. This is what we need. So I say all that to say, while this is a great moment in history and it will be written down forever, we have to make sure that when they are campaigning, that their campaign promises aren't just about identity and who's in the room. Because we need people that are just not in the room. We need people for change. Change for what, Melissa? Whatever your politics say. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Leave a comment down below. If you're watching this and you rocking with what I'm saying, go ahead and leave a comment, especially if you are a replay gang. I want to hear from you guys for sure. And shout out to everyone in the chat, replay gang, all my subscribers, because we did it. I'm so proud. My husband's gonna be so proud. Let's see what's next. So yeah, let's see what this person says. I haven't played a video in a minute. Let's see what this person says about this nominee thing, because everybody's all whatever about it.
Confirmation process. Last year, she earned the support of 3 Republican senators when she was confirmed with the powerful D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. Also believed to be high on the list this morning, Judge Leandra Kruger of the California Supreme Court, Judge Leslie Abrams-Gardner of the U.S. District Court of Georgia, and Judge J. Michelle Childs of the District Court of South Carolina. Now, the president, as you said, is expected to formally announce Justice Breyer's retirement at an event here at the White House later today. Nominating a Black woman means that for the first time, there will be 4 women and 2 Black justices serving on the bench. And George, this also gives the president a chance to shore up his base ahead of the midterm elections and an opportunity to show voters that he can make good on this campaign.
Child, please. Child, please. I'm sorry, but child, please. Some of us really are like, okay, but what about that? What about that? Talk says sometimes we need to consider the ideology over the skin tone. Me, all the time. I don't care about that. Yes, for history and for the history books and all of that, great. But ideology, principles, morals matter to me more. P.S. I love Clarence Thomas. He helped stop the nationwide jab. Yeah, he said no. He said no. Not at all. He stood firm on it. Pissed a whole lot of people off. He didn't care. Shay says, case an example, interns get to be in the room but don't get to speak. We need somebody that's going to speak up. Gonna speak up, but also just be kind of one of those people that understands that we're not a monolith. We all do not think the same. We do not all vote the same. So while you're appointing this one person, be careful, friends, if you're excited about this, because that person may not represent you in your politics, your ideals, your morals. So being Black should not be just it. And that's the problem, because that's all he promised. And that was enough. Care about all that. Uncle Stu, one day my pocket's gonna grow up to be like yours. They sure are. Speak it. Speak it. So that's one of the things that is like trending like crazy. And everybody's just kind of up in arms. Some people are like, some people are like, I'm not impressed. It don't matter. We really don't care. Well, speaking of caring, y'all see the symbol. It's the story that continues to go and go and go. Well, it is being reported that there is a new stealth, let me say it right, stealth Omicron COVID variant BA.2 that may spread faster, found in at least 40 countries. Y'all see my eyes rolling up. I'm just here to report the news. The Omicron BA.2 subvariant, also dubbed stealth Omicron, has been detected in at least 40 countries. And I read an article that it was detected here in Arizona. And so they're saying it's also not as easy to detect. BA.2 has caught attention in recent days as it has been responsible for an increasing proportion of Omicron infections compared to the BA.1 lineage that has been the dominant Omicron type so far. In the meantime, they're saying the COVID cases are going down. Labs in countries including Denmark, Norway have reported that the subvariant has been gaining ground, accounting for nearly half of all COVID cases in the former as the January 20th, marking a sharp increase in weeks. Virologists say, I'm not saying that again, say there is much to learn about the BA.2, but it appears the subvariant may have a transmission average over BA.1. So in a press release last Friday, UK's health security agency said that BA.2 had been classified as a variant under investigation. So in other words, a VUI. Not a DUI, but a VUI, due to the international and domestic cases, adding that the BA.2 appears to have an increased growth rate compared to BA.1 based on its analysis. So far, there is insufficient evidence to determine whether BA.2 causes more severe illness than Omicron BA.1. Sounds like math. So I'm out of there. Y'all know math, boom, I'm out. So there's a new variant, subvariant. Govern yourselves accordingly. We mentioned no. There are about to be more variants than there is dog breeds at this point. Girl, you said a mouthful right there, Shay. And I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just here to let you know that this variant is out here. Hey, puppy. All right, let's get to our last section. You know what? These graphics can't be showing, but that's like a cute. I'm gonna fix that. But anyway, it is politics section. There's something before we get to the outrageous news. Okay, so what's going on? Y'all see her. So I kind of should have put this with the Supreme Court conversation, but this is politics. Right after this, stay tuned because we're going to get into the ridiculous news section. In that section, I promise will not disappoint today. I never disappoint. Those of you that are new to my channel, listen, the ridiculous news section is probably one of my favorite sections. So anyway, I will look it up. I thought you were playing. Let me see what you called it. Okay. Monkey. Okay. So y'all see it. It's Miss Nancy Pelosi, 81 years of age. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announces she will seek re-election in 2022. I say why? That's just my opinion. Why? Some people are like, yay. Might be an unpopular opinion, and I'm not being an ageist or sexist or anything, but I think there should be an age cap of retirement for the Supreme Court. I think that there should also be, like, she needs to sit down somewhere. Part of the problem with America, in my opinion, is the fact that you have these people with these long terms. And if you're 80 years old, 90 years old, I'm not quite sure that your politics, your stance, your ideologies have evolved. But not only that, I think there's value in adding fresh faces, new ideas. I don't even mind, for lack of a better term, if that person was a conservative, passing it off to another conservative. If that person was a liberal, I don't get into all of that in that regard. I'm more concerned about term limits and terms. She's 81 years old, very capable, some people would suggest, able-bodied. So are you like, Melissa, you tripping? Let that lady speak in the speaker house, run the house as often as long as she can. Or are you like, yeah. Ruth Ginseng, I want to say her name. The late honorable judge, Supreme Court. Failed, got back up, ran a marathon, like all this stuff. And she could have just been on a beach somewhere retiring. And I guess I'm projecting what I would want to do in my 80s and my 90s. Judging by my mother, I suspect that I'll be getting it, zipping and zooing it. So that's not the issue. I'm not suggesting that she's too old, Ginsburg. Thank you. I'm not suggesting that, like, oh, you're 80 something, go sit down and you don't be in politics or whatever. I just think if you listen, limit the terms. This has nothing to do, and I guess I shouldn't have mentioned her age, because again, if I look at my mother who, listen, she be dipping and doing, my mother makes me tired. We go out of town, I'm like, Ma, I'm not getting up as early as you are. Like, come on. So this has nothing to do with age and ability and body mobility. Oh, good point, Shay. Shay says, if there can be a cap on presidential terms, there needs to be a cap on those who really hold the power. Very, very true. This mentality is why people that have jobs feel the way they do. People do not move out the way. Yep. It's so tiring. These people need to sit down, but the money is addictive. The money and the power. And like you said, can you move out the way? And here's the thing. What we don't see, which I believe Bernie should have did a long time ago. This is a sidebar. I believe Bernie should have looked at whatever reason he just was not marketable to be president. I said it a long time ago. Bernie, we're too fickle as a country to appoint a Bernie. The smart thing to do was to groom, in my opinion, someone young, someone trendy to be the next Bernie, because you will not, in my opinion, Bernie will not be president based on the way he sounds and look alone, let alone the politics. That's just my opinion. So when you have a Nancy or these justices, are they raising up people to come behind them? Or are they, as Tanya suggests, all about the money and I said the power? Shay says, we need fresh faces and voices. Too many of the politicians still got a civil rights era mindset. Yes, I did see that news article, Trash Can Waves, now that you mention it. Yep. We should have term limits on these old politicians, says Jeannie Moore. Okay, Trash Can Waves, I know what you're talking about. Yes. I believe in age limits because there's no real movements in our social life if we stay in old power. Exactly. That's what makes America great, in my opinion, and it makes America exciting, because the exchange of power, yes, can be annoying. Don't get me wrong. Right now, if you're a conservative, you are annoyed at Biden, okay? It's the worst. Boo. But the flip side of that, it's like a tango. It's a dance. You know, we never know what our elections are going to do. It's just the hope and the expectation that they turn out the way you want them to. So why can't it be that way with the Supreme Court? Let's get a game of freaking dominoes on that thing, or Yahtzee rather. Scrambled eggs, scramble the courts up. But no, these people have longevity. I feel the burn too. You may feel the burn, but I'm here to tell you, Bernie Sanders will, in my opinion, will never be president. And it's for very fickle reasons. Don't get me wrong. But it's reasons that historically why America chooses presidents. Money, looks, and the way he sounds. Just saying. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about that. If you're like, Melissa, you tripping. I think so. I'm telling you, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So let's get into the next part of the show. Let me remove that. Last segment, friends. That wasn't it. That's suspicious. It was supposed to be this. So funny. That is so funny. I ran the wrong clip, but we sometimes play random questions with Melissa, but I'm almost at an hour and 30 minutes. So we're not playing games today. Right now, we are going to segue right into the ridiculous news section. But in honor of these 2K subs, let me hit you with this. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. If you like what you see on my channel, go ahead and make sure you hit the notification bell, because you never know when I'm going live. I used to have, days and times, but the way breaking news is set up in this world, listen, days and times are getting jumbled up. And then because I went live that morning, I tell y'all I see you later, that type of thing. So don't forget to hit the notification bell. When you click on the bell, click all, and that way you'll be the first to know when I go live. Now, we are in the ridiculous news section. Up first, this is who I'm dubbing Walmart Mom. Okay? This is a Texas woman. She was arrested after she tried to buy a stranger's kid. I don't have a gasp. Wait, maybe I'll do that. Texas woman, she's 49 years old. And I picked this because it is ridiculous, but the flip side of that, I said, you know what? I'm not even going to make light on the fact that everyone understands that you just can't go buy kids. Because people probably think this, especially those that cannot procreate, those that are barren. And so I understand that. And I understand the desperation that some people may feel. But I just want to say, if you're out there and you're thinking of doing desperate things and you're like, oh my goodness, don't do this. You cannot purchase children. Now, again, I'm not even trying to be funny, because I understand somebody may not know that. Somebody seriously may not know that. Now, do I think she knew? I think she knew. Texas woman, she's arrested after she tried to buy a stranger's baby for $500,000, at Walmart. Her name is Rebecca Lynette Taylor. She was arrested after the incident in Crockett, Texas. The mother laughed at, let's see. Taylor was at the self-checkout in Walmart and commented on a woman's son's blonde hair and blue eyes and asked how much he costs. That's weird. Listen, I've had countless number of daycare children throughout the years, countless number of foster children. I have my own children, and I've never had someone say, how much did your kid cost? They've complimented me while I was in line of how well behaved my children are and how cute they are and all that. But I've never been asked, well, how much did that one cost you? Well, the mother laughed at her remark, but Taylor allegedly then replied she had $250K in her car. Taylor left the store, because so that wasn't it. She left the store, but waited for the mother in the parking lot and yelled at her that if the $250K was not enough, she would pay $500K. Can you imagine pushing old raggedy Walmart cart, because they be raggedy, in the parking lot that's barely paved? That's why I don't go to Walmart. Disclaimer. Sorry, Walmart, but I don't. Barely paved. Cart going, and you see it. Hey, remember I told you I had 250? Hey, I got 500 if that wasn't enough. The mother called the police, and Taylor was arrested on January 18th and released on a $50,000 bond. Taylor is charged with sale or purchase of a child, which is a third-degree felony in the state of Texas, which is punishable for 10 years in prison. Now, here's the thing. If I was her defense lawyer, and I am not a lawyer, I am not in law, none of that, I'd be like, but did she buy it though? I thought, when you look at Chris Hansen, don't they have to show the money? Don't they have to prove that that's what their intentions were? That would be my defense of her. She was just kidding. So anyway, Miss Lynette is in trouble. Rebecca Lynette is in trouble. She's got her mugshot, and she's being charged with the sale and purchase of a child. So now that they're going to be all in her business trying to figure out, okay, is this something that she has done before? Or is this something that's random? Well, speaking of doing something before, I think that this next story, I covered myself. Well, that's a bad shot, so I'm not even going to use that. But this is the next story. Let me share it with you. The next story is about a lunch lady who forced a Black 4th grade girl to eat a waffle she'd thrown away in the trash as principal looks on. Family sues the Ohio school as both members of the staff have been fired. Okay, so I'm going to share this because when I see stories like this, I think the people have done this before, and this is something that is not new. Let me share the picture so you can see. Miss, this looks like is this the principal, former school principal? Yeah, so she's now the former school principal. Let's share her. I think that this is something that they have done before. They get so comfortable in their foolishness. This is the former principal, Deborah Postoka of Ohio. And this is the video where they forced her. Let's make it larger. This is the lunch lady in red. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Lunch lady. She wipes it off. Y'all see her walking? And puts it on the table. Y'all see that? I'm going to just let that play. They said click here for the full video.
You booked a sunny verbose.
People are bold, but stupid. And I always say, okay, there you go. I always say I don't understand why some people work with children. It really annoys me. And if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably consider going back into the classroom to make a difference. But y'all see where the red circle is at? And the little girl's like, what? And she's wiping the waffle off and can be seen placing it back. She dug it out the trash. What's wrong with people? What is wrong with people? If this doesn't qualify for the ridiculous news section, and of course. So just in case you were wondering, this is the young lady. Williams said that her daughter fell ill after eating the soiled lunch and that she lost her job after taking time off to care for the girl. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if that's acting or they made up the story, but it's plausible that the little girl would get sick after eating something, even though low-key, not that it makes a difference, but the little waffle wasn't in it that long. Ben Crump. Ben Crump is never at home. Ben Crump, the famed civil rights lawyer who represented different people, retweeted the surveillance footage. Okay. Let's see what happened. The unidentified girl's mother, Latasha Williams, said her daughter simply didn't like the waffles, and that's her choice. That wasn't good enough for Summers Feinstein, who crossed her arms, looked at the girl until she ate the waffles, her classmates looking on, according to the lawsuit. They meant to humiliate her. They meant to demean her. Allegedly. Told her to go. So the principal said, go sit down, and that she would be required to eat the waffles dug out the garbage, the lawsuit said. Clabanal said that Summers scared and intimidated the student into eating the waffle while Pistolke was in an eye shot. So if you look at the video, I'll play it again. On the video, the principal is on the side in the black. I don't know if you guys caught that. But so the principal was there. And unfortunately, because she was there, she goes down with the ship. So again, Williams said that her daughter fell ill after eating the soiled lunch. And for me, it doesn't matter where she fell ill, but we know liability. I don't know if you could, well, Cardi B proved that you can definitely sue based on being humiliated. But again, I don't know the law, but I think that they would have to say that she did get sick. Like, you have to prove that something bad happened as a result of this act. So the something bad was that the young lady got sick and the fact that the mom lost the job. Leave a comment down below. Do you think this was a stretch? Do you think this is a reach? Do you think that the principal should be reprimanded? Or do you think that the parents have a case? Newly released video captured a cafeteria worker forcing a 9-year-old Black Palm elementary school student to eat food that she'd thrown away out of the trash can. The principal who failed to take immediate action after the incident. Well, that makes sense as to why the principal got canned. If the parents came up and said, hey, this happened during lunch, what's going on? The principal failed to take action. I can see why she's no longer with the job. And it's now being reported that the principal and so that's the principal in the black right there. Principal got a little donkey donk. Wow. The principal and the worker have both been fired. So that's number 2 on the docket of ridiculous news. Let's see what you guys are saying. My son got one time to come home with a story like this. I'm just saying. Girl. Ben need to sit down too. Listen, Ben, that's why I'm laughing. At some point, how good of a lawyer, how effective is he as a lawyer if he's going from case to case, no rest, but also working on multiple major cases at the same time? How effective is he? I agree with you. I just wish he would educate young people more. Okay. Trash, okay. Did you see about the teen who was playing basketball and the people in the audience were? Yes, I said that. Did I report on that? I might not have reported on it. It's in my notes to report on it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, make sure you tune in tomorrow with Sipping and Just Saying with the Melissas. Laura Melissa will be back and we will be doing what we do. And one of the things that I definitely want to hit on is this idea. I think the name is Leah, this trans athlete that is making waves. And listen, Caitlyn Jenner, formerly known as Bruce Jenner, has come out and said she should not be allowed to swim. So I want to talk about that and Portia Williams and a whole bunch of other stuff, foolishness and mayhem on Friday. Okay, so tune in tomorrow for our Sipping and Just Saying. And alcohol is not required. I don't know. It could be a reach, but then again, these jobs nowadays are not playing about unscheduled leave. Yes. So I'm not even gonna lie. Like, of course, I'd be finding some things that was wrong if this was my kid. Do not get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. She might have got sick though, but that's my point. I can see them proving the firing, but it's the getting sick for me. But you ever think about something that's so gross that it makes you sick? So I can see that the girl got sick, if that's what they mean. But listen, that's not my case to try. That's Ben Crump. Ben Crump gonna do that. So what else did I have? Let me X out of these because I had quite a few. All right. Oh, this one. Y'all, let me share this screen. Let me share this screen because this was bad. This is another one with the schools. These teachers be wilding out, but these kids are smart and they're like, nope. So this is homework from a New York school district. And in the homework, it says New York school district, the headline is New York school district is sorry for homework calling Mexicans ugly and Americans pretty. Y'all heard it. You heard it. I zoomed in for you because I know y'all like, Melissa, quit exaggerating. Espanol 6, translate the following sentences into Spanish. Number 1 says, I am a student at Mill. Number 2, you, and then it says friendly, meaning, I guess there's a friendly way to say it, but it says you are Mexican and ugly. Number 10, this teacher didn't want a job. I promise you, this teacher did not want a job. So then there's other ones. Then number 10 says, and I guess she thought because she added friendly, because I just walk up to people and go, hey, friend, you are Mexican and ugly. Stop. Number 10 says, again, in parentheses, make sure you say this politely. You are pretty and an American. Are you kidding me? This is the homework, y'all. Students were requested to translate sentences describing Mexicans as ugly and Americans as pretty. Now, for those of you that think that this is ustedes es mexicano y, for those of you that think, it was harmless, she did put politely, it's not harmless. Because if you are a Mexican, the message for sure is imprinted in that sentence. You're ugly. Not to mention the ideology of American pretty. Did she take her daughter to the doctor immediately? Was it confirmed by her pediatrician? If she's seeking a lawsuit, then she needs to prove these things other than she just called out of work. Exactly. So if you're just tuning in, we are talking about, which story was that? Oh, the elementary school story. So anyway, yeah. So my comments are a bit delayed. It's okay. No worries. So again, this teacher didn't want to work. You know, just like any occupation, I'm not even going to have this long dissertation. You know that there's ethics involved in teaching. They teach the ethical side of teaching. Not only is there ethics that we have to follow, but there's also an idea that you have to be sensitive to people from different social, economic, cultural backgrounds. They push sociology. They push anthropology. They push psychology. This is divisive language, which is not healthy and it's not best practice in curriculum development. I'll put it to you that way. So she knows what she's doing, in other words. And I don't believe this was the first time. But even if it was the first time, this is one hell of a mistake to make for the first time. But I'll tell you this. When you're going to school for curriculum, to become an educator, developing and creating curriculum is definitely a part of this. It's a part of the course. And nowhere in there was it said that you get to have the student say something mean, but add friendly and it'll go over well. So my point in saying all of this, besides common sense, besides just being a good human, she wasn't taught to create curriculum like this. Uncle Stu, that does not fly within the melting pot. Poor choice of that teacher. Exactly. Did she get fired? Yes. Uncle Stu, that does not. Okay, wait. Gracias. My Spanish homework never looked like this. Exactly. She did create that. And that's why I'm harping in even more. She did create that assignment. But like I said, that's one expensive creation. Velma says, wow, unbelievable. I was listen, speechless. And that's hard for me. Hope so. Am I going to say we have so many Hispanic people in order for this to fly? Dominicans, Cubans, etc. Exactly. But she felt like that was her moment to flex. She felt like that was her moment to feel froggy. That was dumb. Dumb. She knows better. That's my whole point. And that's why she is featured on the ridiculous news section. She should have been fired. Let's read more. And this is 6th grade. 6th graders at middle school in Williamsville Central District received a worksheet in Spanish class that prompted them to translate the sentences. That's normal. But like I said, when you add the sentiment is Mexicans, that's the school. You're Mexican, you're ugly. American, you're pretty. And people wonder why. Because here's the thing, you can't take back the level of influence that assignment had on those children. Hopefully the majority of the children, all the children, looked at that lesson and tossed it in the trash and said, nope, that's not true. We're all beautiful. But let's think about 1% or one child that was engraved in, and now they have a bias against a specific race because a person of authority, a person of influence, gave me homework to reflect my bias. And there you have the problem. Waynick's husband, Marcelo Florencio, said he's extremely disappointed with Middle for letting the disgusting and inexcusable language such as this be presented in the classroom. I personally don't feel this Spanish teacher or anyone who approves this kind of curriculum content has any place in the district or elsewhere. Blatant lack of ethnic sensitivity and bias. Your girl knows what she's talking about because I took the classes. So that's the parent. So they're not going to show the child, but if this is the parent, then we can say what she looks like. All right. The district finally answered, and they said the assignment created by the teacher and provided to the students was unacceptable. We are addressing the situation to ensure that this does not happen again. The district does not condone any instructional material that denigrates our students, families, and cultures or beliefs. Wow. Let's see. So it doesn't look, let's see. Let's get an update. Yeah, they just said that they're sorry. I'm going to assume sister is fired. I'm going to give y'all an update tomorrow. Melissa, hit her with the price is wrong soundbite. No, not that one. She thought, listen, let me hit her with it the correct way. She really thought she was doing something. She sat up there on Saturday and was like, I'm going to kill him softly with this one. And then the kids got to school, and I appreciate the fact that even in 6th grade, there was a child that said, "This does not feel right. This doesn't feel right. This is not giving what it's supposed to give." Listen, there's just there's just no cheering this on. This is not okay. Jenny, that is what I say. The teacher should be fired because there's lots of Hispanics in New York. I don't care if it's an all-white neighborhood. That would make it even worse. But I understand what you're saying. Okay. All right, there we go. Wow, unbelievable. Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Identity, it all matters. But I feel like at least the Hispanic child knew, like, hey, this is ridiculous. They went home, showed the kid. But what if it was an all-white district? That's worse, because the child knew, thank God, awesome parents. You are loved. You is beautiful. Okay? So they didn't listen to the message. But to your point, what if it was an all-white school getting that messaging and everybody thought it was so funny? Let me find that article about the little kid playing basketball in the chants. I thought I covered it. Don't get me wrong. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for that homework to go out and to have a Mexican child or Hispanic child to see that homework. But coming from a great home like this kid sounds like, because they took it straight to mom, and mom don't play, dad don't play, killed that stereotype because they both in the home. But to suggest that, and I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm just saying, I think that it would be just as detrimental, if not more, if that type of assignment is getting tossed around in a predominantly white school. Because now who's going to check them besides, for lack of a better term, the woke Karen? The woke mom and dad. Them the only ones that's going to bring the school back, bring it back. And I can see it. My friends would be like, "Excuse me, this is not okay." Other than that, they're going to all be, trust me, laughing about it and thinking it's the funniest thing. So anyway, so that's the district. I'll give you an update tomorrow when I look it up to see if she was fired, but she's in the hot seat. Now, speaking of the hot seat and not so hot seat, yeah, I know you're right. I did not even think about it that way. Being from New York, so would not even think that they would even teach that. I get your point big time. No. We're saying the same thing. And your point is very valid. Like, why would she even think to put a homework and there's so many Hispanics? Absolutely. I understand what you're saying. I agree. That would have been hateful seed to plant in a school environment. My point exactly. Well, speaking of, this is ridiculous just because it's ridiculous. I wanted y'all to see, let me get her name correct before I show y'all. I wanted you guys to see this female driver. She lives in Canada. And she is on the Rideau, or probably the Rideau River in Ottawa. Well, Melissa, why does she make the ridiculous news section? She's just living in Canada. Well, I have a question for y'all. If you're driving down the street and your car begins to capsize because it found a soft spot on the lake, would you escape the car and go to that house that we see behind the car? Or would you escape the car, get on the hood, and take a selfie? Are you taking a selfie on your sinking car? Are you escaping the car because you can die, you can freeze to death, and you can drown? The car can be swept away. Let me zoom in for you. Or are you going to take a selfie?
Bruh.
She thought it was good to take a selfie. A clueless Canadian woman appeared to snap a selfie while standing on top of her car as it sank on a river of ice this weekend. Photos taken from the shore of the river, so there's somebody on the shore taking this picture of her, show the unidentified woman in a red sweat winter coat apparently nonchalantly snapping a quick selfie of herself while standing on the back window of a yellow vehicle that is most likely submerged in water and slowly sinking around 4:30 p.m. She's on top of the car. She's going in, a concerned resident said in a video taken from the shore. Well, let's see the video. Look at this.
She's on top of the car. She's going in. Hurry up, Duck.
She's lucky that they're risking their lives to go. She's stuck, y'all. Somebody said, is there anything we can do? Girl, you are sinking. She drove on the ice. That's exactly what she did. I told y'all, ridiculous news segment today is not disappointing. If you're just tuning in, this is Melissa Berrien of Real Talk with Melissa Berrien show, and I am breaking down the last segment of our show, which is the ridiculous news, where we have our friend here in Canada. She is taking selfies on her car as it is sinking. You heard it right. Tanya is like, wow, tell me about it. All right. So I'm well over my time, but that's okay. I wanted to get to the next part. This is one thing that we were, let me see, what's this? We talked about the black fourth grader that was forced to eat the waffle. Whoever brought that up, like asking me, did I see that? Okay, here we go. All right, so I'll play this. I'll do this part. This is the basketball story that I was going to cover. I thought I covered it already. You might have missed it, but I'll do it again. No worries. I got time. All right, so I was just asked, and this is definitely just as ridiculous. Let's share this screen. So in California schools speak out against students' racist comments during a basketball game. Laguna Hills High School said it has taken action over the unacceptable incident last week. So let's see. Nope, no photo. No photo. So I'll just highlight the title and let's see what the California schools, what their recourse was. A Southern California high school acknowledged that one of its students uttered inappropriate and inflammatory racist taunts during a boys' basketball game last week. Now, I told you guys, my kids have been in predominantly white schools. The majority, the majority of their schooling because of being military, moving around, that whole thing. I have seen this happen. I've also seen where everyone thought it was funny or they missed it. I've also seen just the outright delusional behavior where they don't even know that they're being ignorant because it's so celebrated. So I'm not surprised that this would happen. I've seen stuff be said because the team was predominantly Black. I've seen stuff be said because whether it was girls, football, everything. And it's the student section. It's even worse when it comes from the parents. but it's the student section. So to the person's point, it was an incident, but it was let to continue. I, as a principal, would have stopped the game. I, as a teacher, would have stopped the game. I, as a referee, would have stopped the game. But one thing that we could talk about in a future time later on is the fact that high school sports and the money that they generate often causes administration to excuse poor behavior. Because here's the truth of the matter. If you stop the game, how many people would have wanted a refund? How many people would have gotten mad because little Johnny can't highlight and be the star football player or the star basketball player? It's a mindset that people are involved in their sports and being spectators and being parents, but forgetting the human side of this to say, let's cut this out. That's unacceptable. The Southern California high school acknowledged that one of its students uttered the racist taunts. The ugly scenes unfolded Friday during a game between Laguna Hills and the visiting Portola High School Bulldogs from a nearby Irvine in southern Orange County. The Saddleback Valley Unified School District, which includes Laguna Hills, said Tuesday that Laguna Hills student shouted the slurs. Of course, they're talking about it's inappropriate and inflammatory. And after a thorough fact-finding process that included review of the entire game footage and interviews with each individual verified as being near the attendee, it was determined that the unacceptable, they just keep using that word, comments were made by a student who attends LHHS. An apology from the school and the district wouldn't lessen the impact of the incident, Turner said. Although apologies are necessary, they do not suffice. The words used by the student will never be acceptable. A YouTube video posting the incident appears to capture a young person's voice yelling taunts and mention chains. They say something about cages. They say something about monkeys. The Irvine Unified School District spokeswoman, Annie Brown, said the racist comments uttered at Friday's game we got it. They were appalling and unacceptable. The Portola High School ISD community stand in full support of our students and their family. At the time of the slurs that were posted on YouTube, a Black player from Portola was about to shoot a free throw. So it's quiet. That makes it even worse. I've seen this before. And his family said the slurs were made throughout the game, which Portola won 58-48. I've seen where it gets really crazy when you're whooping up on them. Every time that I touched that ball, every time something happened with me around, you could hear them saying some sort of remarks towards me. And no one thought to stop the game. No one thought to stop the game. The taunts didn't appear to draw any response from the fans around the offending student in the YouTube clip. The student has been counseled and immediate appropriate consequences and discipline have taken place. Bystander students have been advised regarding their responsibility to redirect such language and report it to the school administration. That was my question. Because here's the thing. Ridiculous. This tops it. Absolutely ridiculous that game was allowed to go on. I've seen where people would do that thing, Native American, yeah. And I'm always leery of anyone in school with blackface and stuff. You're pushing it. That's what I always say. So, I'll save the next story for tomorrow. It's talking about these smash and grabs. I got some updates for that. I got some other updates from news that I shared before. So thank you guys for sticking around. We are at 2 hours, and y'all know I like to end. See, now we at 2:01. So now I got to talk to 2:05 at least, because that's in between. So I'm going to read your comments until 2:05, and then I'm going to end my live. Because I'm just weird like that. Ridiculous. Yes, it is ridiculous. And that's why I was a part of the news. And I'm glad one of you reminded me, because I thought I covered it. But there's so many. I've seen it, y'all. I've seen it. And it's funny till it's not. They do something until there's an outcry. But the game was allowed to continue. So you want to get mad at the students around the child because they didn't redirect his language as if they know what that means. But you don't get mad at the referees. You don't get mad at the referees for not stopping the game. The referees heard it. The crowd heard it. But I want to place responsibility on his peers to tell him to stop saying that. Well, unfortunately, if you know anything about child development, if you know anything about human development, I would like to suggest that, yes, it will take a very strong-minded, independent thinking, brave child to stand out from the crowd and say, hey, that wasn't funny, that wasn't cool. What an adolescent would do typically at that age, you're talking high school, they're not going to necessarily confront someone. They'll remove themselves from the situation, or they'll sit down and be quiet, and that will just let you know that they don't agree with the language. That's why none of the other children got in trouble along with him. He was the only one acting a fool. But you want to place adult responsibility because there were adults in the room, right? You want to place it on the child. And I say no. Now, this is a teachable moment. If your child was found to have been sitting around that child, that kid, it's absolutely a teachable moment. Hey, what were you feeling in that moment? Why did you feel like you couldn't say anything? I'm going to tell you what they're going to say. It wasn't none of my business. It's a tricky thing because they're on the cusp of adulthood, but they're still children. They just don't think so. And confrontation is one thing, but also wanting to belong is another. So the way they will typically handle that is, I'm going to go sit down. I'm going to sit down, or I'm going to move, or I'll text them and say, hey, I'll text them after. So the responsibility really was on the referee and the faculty that was in attendance. And there always, I promise you, there always has to be a member, obviously the coaches. But there always has to be, generally speaking, I've never coached or been anywhere where there was a function and there was not a teacher represented. A district representative, I'll say it that way, that had to be on campus. And you know, it's a basketball game. They all were there. So that's that. Practicing the long stroke, I like this. No. It's just because this Tasha K thing sent me over. Y'all know, listen, I have done long lives, but nope. Nope. That is for everybody else. So, yep, that's it. So on that note, because, oh man, I'm just 2 minutes in. How crazy is that? Listen, I'm going to play commercials until the 4. I can't, y'all. 2:05. Okay, we good. We good. 2 hours, 5 minutes. I'm out of here. I have surgery in the morning. Y'all wish me luck. I will. God bless you. Great healing vibes. Sending them your way. I got to go because I'm right at 2:05. Good night, all. Let's hit this outro. Be kind to one another. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.
With the